Uncovering the shocking truth behind JFK's assassination, you won't believe what we found. Few events in history have generated as much controversy and speculation as the assassination of President John F. Kennedy. While the Warren Commission report may be considered the official version of events, it is far from the last word on the subject. With inconsistencies and flaws littering the narrative, many questions remain unanswered. Eyewitness accounts of multiple shots being fired from different directions cast doubt on the accepted wisdom that Lee Harvey Oswald acted alone. To make matters worse, there is convincing evidence pointing to a wider conspiracy, and even the suspected involvement of government agencies in a major cover-up. All of this casts a long shadow over our understanding of one of the most iconic moments in American history. We cannot simply accept an explanation that lacks credibility, not when conspiracy theories and lost trust threaten to undermine the very foundations of our society. It is vital that we search for the truth no matter where it leads us, if only to preserve the integrity of our institutions and the collective memory of our past. The assassination of President Kennedy is a riveting and unforgettable event in American history, one that continues to captivate and mystify us. The multiple theories and conspiracies that surround it only add to the intrigue, but we must not let our fascination with melodrama distract us from the gravity of this tragedy. The assassination of a U.S. president is a sobering moment in our history, one that has implications for the present and the future. The central figure in this event is Lee Harvey Oswald, a man once seen as a troubled and isolated individual seeking notoriety. But as evidence has emerged, we have come to realize that the story is far more complex. Oswald's links to people associated with the government and the discrepancies in the evidence raise questions that demand answers. Perhaps the most compelling of all the evidence are the eyewitness accounts, which suggest that there were multiple shooters involved. This conflicts with the official narrative and begs the question of whether there was a larger conspiracy at play. The destruction of evidence and the obstruction of justice only serve to fuel the suspicion that people in power did not want the truth to be known. It is our duty to seek the truth, no matter how uncomfortable it may be. The assassination of President Kennedy is yet another example of the powerful covering up their actions, and we must hold them accountable. The truth may never be fully revealed, but that doesn't mean we should stop searching for it. We owe it to ourselves and to the country to keep questioning the authorities, continuing to seek answers, and preserving the integrity of our institutions. The legacy of President Kennedy deserves nothing less. There are alternative explanations for the JFK assassination that suggest a conspiracy theory. This theory is based on the evidence that has come to light over the years, including eyewitness accounts, forensic evidence, and inconsistencies in the official story. A major focus of this theory is the role of Lee Harvey Oswald, who has been accused of being a lone gunman. However, many believe that he had help, either from other individuals or government agencies. There is also suspicion of a cover-up and obstruction of justice, with some believing that the government destroyed evidence to protect its own interests. While conspiracy theories can be divisive and controversial, it is important to seek the truth behind historical events and ensure that justice is served for those affected by the tragedy. The assassination of John F. Kennedy is one of the most studied and discussed events in American history. Despite the passage of more than 5 decades, many questions remain unanswered, and there is much we still do not know about the circumstances of the president's death. The official story put forward by the Warren Commission has long been considered the definitive account of events, but many have questioned its accuracy and completeness. Indeed, it is clear that the case is far from closed, and there is a great deal of evidence pointing to a very different version of events. At the heart of the issue is the role of Lee Harvey Oswald, who has long been considered the lone gunman responsible for the assassination. However, as many have pointed out, there are significant inconsistencies and flaws in this narrative, and there is much to suggest that Oswald was not acting alone. Eyewitness testimony suggests that shots were fired from multiple locations, and that there may have been more than one gunman involved. Moreover, forensic evidence casts further doubt on the official story, with ballistics tests indicating that the fatal shot could not have been fired by Oswald from his location. This evidence strongly suggests that there was a wider conspiracy at work, and many have pointed the finger at the U.S. government and its various agencies. Indeed, there is much to suggest that elements of the government may have been involved in some way, and that there was a concerted effort to cover up the truth about what happened that day. From the destruction of evidence to the obstruction of justice, there are many examples of suspicious behavior that point to a wider conspiracy involving powerful forces within the government. Of course, the implications of all this are profound, and they go beyond simply establishing the truth about the assassination itself. Conspiracy theories have long been associated with a lack of trust in government and a cynicism about the institutions and processes of democracy. If it is true that the government was involved in covering up the truth about the assassination, then this would be a deeply troubling development that would cast serious doubt on the legitimacy of the U.S. government and its role in society. This underlines the importance of seeking the truth behind historical events, even when the official story appears to be conclusive. While it is understandable that many people would prefer to accept an explanation that is neat, tidy, and final, the reality is that history is rarely so clear-cut. The JFK assassination is a case in point, with a great deal of evidence pointing to a more complex and sinister tale than the one put forward by the Warren Commission. If we are truly committed to preserving the integrity of our institutions and the collective memory of our past, then we must be willing to dig deeper, question assumptions, and seek out the truth no matter where it may lead us. Only then can we hope to learn the true lessons of history and to ensure that we do not repeat the mistakes of the past. Was there a government cover-up in JFK's assassination? The possibility cannot be ignored. The CIA and FBI are rumored to have played a role, hiding evidence and obstructing justice, all in an effort to maintain the official story that Lee Harvey Oswald acted alone. But why would they do that? Was it to prevent a national crisis or to protect their own power and unethical operations? We may never know for sure, but one thing is certain: the government's official account of the events raises serious questions about transparency and accountability in our government. We owe it to ourselves and future generations to seek the truth behind this historic tragedy. The assassination of President John F. Kennedy shook America to its core and still haunts us today. The official story that Lee Harvey Oswald acted alone simply does not add up. Eyewitnesses saw shots fired from different directions, and bullet trajectories contradict Oswald's position. The forensics suggest more than 3 shots were fired, including a headshot that defies the lone gunman theory. It's clear that a conspiracy was at work, possibly involving multiple shooters and government agencies. Yet the truth remains shrouded in secrecy and cover-ups. The government's active role in obfuscation raises suspicions of their involvement. Even if we can't know the full story, the impact on public trust in government institutions is profound. We must hold our institutions accountable and demand transparency. Preserving the truth and the integrity of our collective memory is essential. Let's seek the truth and ask questions, ensuring future generations have an accurate understanding of this pivotal moment in history. Conspiracy theories surrounding the assassination of JFK have played a significant role in shaping public trust in government institutions. The fact that the official story has inconsistencies and there is evidence supporting an alternative explanation raises important questions about the role of government agencies in the event. The destruction of evidence and obstruction of justice also contribute to the belief in a government cover-up. Seeking the truth behind historical events is crucial to understanding the impact of those events on society. It is important to use critical thinking and evaluate multiple perspectives in order to form a well-rounded understanding of the event. In conclusion, the JFK assassination is a reminder that transparency and accountability in government are essential to maintaining public trust in democratic institutions.